Alright, folks, hello and welcome back to Neon White, because I'm doing my platinum run, and it's taking fucking forever. As you can see, it took 40 hours just to finish the actual shit in the main game. That's not what we're doing today. I only have 2 trophies left. If we go here, I've already done Mikey's Rush, which is for completing the whole game with only the rocket launcher card, and I've already done Violet's Rush, which is for finishing all of her levels, and I've already done Yellow's Rush, which is for finishing all of his levels. Sorry, I need to cut the music back on. I cut it off earlier. All I have left is Red's Rush and White's Rush. The problem is that White's Rush is fucking impossible. So, there's Heaven and Hell rushes. The Heaven rushes aren't particularly difficult, because they allow you unlimited restarts and unlimited lives. You still have to do it in a single run without stopping, but that's not particularly difficult. Now, the Hell Rush is a different story. There's no restarts, you only get 1 life, and your health carries over between levels, which is a pain in the fucking ass. The only saving grace is that you can discard your katana to heal and spawn any cards you want, but you can only do that 3 times per run. Mind you, there's 96 levels. So today we're gonna try White's Hell Rush. I've only made it to, I think the farthest I've made it is level 50 something, and that was a lucky attempt. So the first, 20 levels I can do easy. Would you believe me if I said this is easier to do with nothing but a fucking rocket launcher? I had less trouble with the rocket launcher. To put that into context, Mikey's Hell Rush, I should say, took me 45 tries, I think? I finally got it on the 45th try. I'm almost 30 tries deep into this, with the end nowhere in sight. So, yeah, this one's tricky. When I was looking at the PSN Profiles trophy guide just to kind of gauge how difficult it was gonna be, I was reading up, and it said this trophy is the reason the game was rated a 3 out of 10 difficulty, or not a 3 out of 10, an 8 out of 10 difficulty, and not a 4 out of 10. This trophy is the only reason. So, yeah, this is gonna be fun. So we're gonna attempt it a couple times. There's also an option to shuffle the level order. So if this gets a little stale, if I give it too many goes and it's not looking like I'm making any progress, we'll shuffle the level order and see what kind of fun we can have. Who knows, maybe I'll actually fucking pull this off. I doubt it, but I'm damn sure gonna try. Once again, that loud-ass music. The music in this game, I genuinely did not realize how loud it was until I was playing without my headphones, and I had my TV at, volume level 20, which I think is pretty rational. I think that's a pretty reasonable volume level. But, I swear to God, it sounded like I had it at 60. It was so fucking loud. So I muted the music and started listening to my own music because, number one, it was helping me focus better. I was listening to my own music when I beat Mikey's Rush. And number two, excuse me. Number two, I forgot what number two was. Number two was because my music was at a much more reasonable volume than the game music. That and Mikey's Rush was taking me so long that I was just hearing the same music over and over again. And I got just a little bit tired of it. So I swapped it to my music. Yeah, so all these I have down pretty good. It's after, the last parts of the teens get a little bit tricky, and after level 20, it gets a little bit tricky. Hold on, I'm answering a text. These are also timed. Like, there, you can see there's a timer up there. So you can try and get, like, a great time if you want. I'm not trying to get a great time, because this is such a fucking struggle. I'm just trying to actually finish it. I got a pretty decent time on Violet's rushes. I think I did, when I finally completed Violet's Hell Rush, I think I was at, like, 4 minutes and something, which isn't bad. Especially considering how fucking tricky Violet's levels are. Violet's levels are, without a doubt, the hardest of the side quests. I should probably clear that up. The individual character levels are for completing out your, relationship with each of the characters. So every certain number of upgrading the relationships. So, like, if you get to level, let's say, 3, you'll unlock a new side quest to do. And Violet's, they each have their own gimmick. Violet's is that, you know, her whole thing is traps, while her levels are essentially one big maze of fucking spikes and traps. So her levels are a lot more difficult. They're like a mix of traversal challenges and, you know, trying to navigate through the spikes and traps without getting fucking obliterated. Yellow's gimmick is that you can't use your discard abilities. And then, Red's gimmick is that, they're just regular traversal challenges. It's just a test of how well you've mastered the movement in the game. Doo-doo-doo-doo. See, I can do these levels pretty consistently. It's once we get in the 20s that it starts to get tricky. There's some levels in particular that I really, really fucking hate. One of them's Race. If we remember that from when I was playing this game on stream, it's the one where you have to race the tripwire demons to the end. And it's a pain in the ass. I can do it sometimes, and then other times I just fuck it up completely. See, for Mikey's Rush, I took things a lot slower, because only having the rocket launcher does introduce its own set of challenges. For these, though, like, you kinda have to, you know, because the rocket launcher does also allow recovery opportunities, especially because it replaced every card with the minion. So, like, there'd be levels where you'd have like 120 rockets because you just picked up every fucking level, or every fucking card in the match. In the map! Jesus! And you just kept stockpiling ammo. So it offered, you know, a lot of recovery opportunities. You know, you can rocket jump. Like, there's one level in, like, the 60s, I think, where I kept missing the last balloon demon. So I just rocket jump all the way up the fucking skyscraper until I made it to the end. Like, you know, it offered recovery opportunities like that. But this one, you don't really have that. Like, you have to play the game exactly as you did the first time, except without making mistakes. Because you genuinely, like, you have 3 chances to get something from your discarded katana. And that's it. 3 times for 96 levels. After that, you're kinda just fucked. And even then, like, if you miss a jump and fall off of some shit or something, that's just it. Like, that's just it for you. So, I've been struggling with this. This is day 3 of me attempting this. I haven't been doing it all day, every day. Like, I gave it a try for an hour or 2 earlier, and I gave it a try a couple times yesterday. Like, I think I'd do it, like, for an hour or 2, and then I'd take a break, because it genuinely starts to get fucking infuriating after a while. I've done this so much that I've pretty much memorized the entire game front to back. I just have to put into practice the paths and everything. You know, because, like, I've gotten all the ace medals and everything. I know all the shortcuts and all that shit. but actually, you know, using the shortcuts is a bit of a tricky thing, because it's very possible to miss the demons and shit if you take the shortcuts, because God knows I did it several times while I was going for all the ace medals. So, you know, it's kind of a balancing act. I tend to only use the shortcuts if it gets me closer to the end of the level without... See, I just did it right there. I just skipped some demons. Shit. Yep, I can't get back up there. That's gonna have to be a restart. See what I mean? One mistake can fuck up your whole run. So we are 11 minutes in, and I've already had to restart. Just to kind of put into perspective how tricky this is. You know, like I said, Mikey's Rush, having Dominion and having so much Dominion ammo offered a lot of recovery opportunities that you just don't have on these levels. You know, I saw one guy on Reddit. He put up a Reddit post asking for tips. Are you fucking kidding me right now? No, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm not doing this shit. Okay, not even 12 minutes in, that's 2 retries. I saw one guy on Reddit, he was asking for tips, and somebody replied that White's Hell Rush took him like 3 weeks. And, to be honest, I just don't know if I have the patience for that. Like, I'm gonna give it my fucking best, but that's a long amount of time. You know, I'd like to think I'm good enough to do it in less time, but after the first, I think I'm somewhere near attempt 30. I kinda lost count around 22. You know, so like, I just don't know if I have it in me to do it that many times. You know, I'm very committed to the completionist thing here lately. Like, I've platinumed or 100%ed every game I've played in the last probably 6 or 7 months. There were some that I dropped that I need to pick back up on, but here in the past several months, I have fully platinumed and completed every single one. But this one is testing my patience. This one is testing my mettle. I don't know if I got the grit for this one. I gotta get a sip of my drink right quick, hang on. I mean, this White's Hell Rush is really just a war of attrition. It's just seeing how long you can go without losing your fucking mind. And the question is, I've been going quite a long time. Like I said, 3 days of on and off attempts throughout each day. The first day I beat Mikey's Rush, about halfway through the day. So the other half of the day was me trying White's Rush. Then yesterday, I did it on and off, and then today I've done it on and off, until right now. So, like I said, I've been taking breaks just because it's so fucking infuriating, especially when you make a stupid fucking mistake that just completely ruins your run. Because I've made so many stupid fucking mistakes that have absolutely shat all over my run. And it's very easy to do, because you get confident, especially doing levels that, you know, aren't that hard, and you just do stupid shit. Like you saw a second ago when I was doing Stomp. I just completely skipped one set of demons, because, like, I got ahead of myself. I got too cocky. And it's really easy to do, and it's fucking infuriating when it happens. I've also memorized, like, 90% of the level names, because I've done them so many times. Like, this one's called Fast Track, and the next one's called Glass Port, and the one after that is called Take Flight. You know, and I really only... Like, I haven't gone to a level select screen in a while. The only time I really memorize level names is if I really love a level. But this game is just, it's not even that. It's just that I've done it so many fucking times. Why did I do that? I got hit, that's fine, because there's health here. There are still health pickups in the levels, but it's only certain levels, and they are spaced pretty far apart. Like, obviously there's health in the boss fight levels. But, like, as for the regular levels, the health is spaced out. Like, I think the next health is in... I think it's in Jumper, which is level 23, I think. And we're on level 10. So it's 13 levels until the next health. So if I get hit until then, I can either try and stick it out until, you know, level 23, or, more likely, I can discard my katana and get the health back. But then I have to decide if I really want to do that, because I only have 3 discards. And those discards are honestly more handy in the later levels. But if I fuck up early, I don't really have a choice but to use them, or that's just a dead run. So, like I said, fucking infuriating. Anyways, so the trailer for Born Again Season 2 came out yesterday, and that shit looks so heat. And Charlie Cox and someone else in the cast said it was some of the best writing since, well, they said it's the best writing since the original show. Not in so many words, obviously, because they can't really say it like that. But they said they really, really loved the writing in Season 2. And even Vincent D'Onofrio really liked it. And Vincent D'Onofrio, you know, like, I don't know the guy personally, but he seems like one of those guys that doesn't like a lot of things. Like, he's a very smiley and happy guy, but I feel like his tastes are very, refined. I think Matthew Lillard also said he really loved the script, because, you know, he's in Season 2. So that's... see, I did it right there. That's exciting. And the trailer looks really, really good. And the trailer was set to fucking Lithonia, which is one of my favorite songs. So that just had me even more hyped. And it also, the trailer also made it look like there's a Daredevil Bullseye team-up, which is just crazy to think about. Especially considering what Bullseye did in the first season. And what he did in Season 3 of the original show. So I'm, you know, I've got a lot of shit to look forward to this year. Like, you know, Resident Evil 9 comes out in less than a month. Yesterday made 1 month until release day. So, you know, I have that to look forward to, and then like a week after that is when Born Again Season 2 premieres. I think it premieres on March 4th, the same day that the first season premiered. So, like, it's not long! And having that, and having Requiem and having that back-to-back is just gonna make such a great week. Alright, let's see if I can fuck this up. Let's see if I can not fuck this up. Jesus Christ. I've lost track of what level I'm on. What is this? Catwalk? Is that what this one is? I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention, because I was too busy talking about my scope. Yeah, we're on Dancer now. Okay. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I could be taking these slower, but, like, you know, like I said, with the fucking rocket launcher, a lot of recovery opportunities that you don't have here. So if you don't do it at the pace that needs to be done at, you'll fuck yourself. Alright, on to Guardian. Like I said, the later part of the 20s into the 30s is where I start to fuck up. I think I've made it to level 50-something, and that's the farthest I've made it on White Hell Rush. There was one time when I was doing Mikey's Hell Rush, I made it to like level 80-something, and then my game bugged out. I think I was on like 85 or something, and my game bugged out. and I couldn't escape. It put me in like this weird room where I just couldn't escape. And it completely fucked my run. And I was like, you've got to be shitting me. Because I knew I had that run. I was on like run 20 something. And I knew I could do it on that run. Because I mean, it was perfect. It was a perfect run. And then the fucking game bugged out and just shat all over it. So that was lovely. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. See, there's health on this level right there. If I'm not mistaken, the next health, not counting the boss level, is in Apartment, which is level 43, I think. Yeah, because 33 is the boss level, and Apartment is 10 levels after that. So yeah, I'm right. Of course I'm right. Memorize the fucking game. There, dodge that guy. That guy. Whoop! I can't believe I've already used a fucking discard. Oh, that's irritating. It's irritating as shit. Go there, swap. Whoop! Make my karate noises. Hey buddy. Bye buddy. There. Get that balloon if I need to, if I can land that. Yeah, like I said, up through these levels, like the... Are we being fucking serious right now? Okay. Jesus. Also, I didn't realize that this game locks on to the nearest enemy, which means occasionally it'll just decide, no, you're not locking onto that explosive barrel you're aiming at, you're locking onto whatever's beside it. Which is also really fucking annoying. I do want to add that I am still trapped in my house. After that winter storm hit, it's been... shit. It's been over a week, and I just... haven't been able to leave my house. Haven't been able to leave my fucking house. I think... No, it hasn't been over a week. What's today? Thursday? Wednesday. Yeah. It's... I think it snowed on... Or, well, not snowed, sleeted. On Saturday. So, Saturday. I've been stuck here since Saturday. Which makes Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday... 4 days now? And... according to what I saw earlier, we're supposed to have more weather this weekend, which kinda sucks because we're running low on supplies. I mean, not dangerously low, we're just kind of running out of stuff to drink that isn't water. You know, water's great, but every once in a while you'd like to have something that isn't water. We've gone through so much Kool-Aid and soda. Because there's 8 of us that live here. Like, we have a large family. So, like, you know, stuff gets drank up pretty fast when you have 8 people drinking it. I have a doctor's appointment today until 3, so we'll probably end somewhere around 2:45-ish. Maybe earlier. I don't know. I just wanted to play for a little bit, you know. I streamed a couple days ago. I figured it was about time for another one. And I thought maybe doing this in front of people would give me better chances. I love how I said 2:45 and I didn't say what time it is now. It's 12:38, so maybe about 2 hours. A rather short one for today, shorter than I usually do, but, you know, I wasn't doing anything else, and I was really bored, so I figured why not, and then I'll have my appointment, and things will be great. There. Achoo! Cool. I was about to say, if I didn't pick up that fucking card. You over there. Every once in a while, I'll miss the card, you know? It pisses me off. Because that's another really easy thing to do. It's really stupid, too. You'd think they'd have, like, a wider pickup area for the cards. Especially considering that some of them are put in, like, weird-ass places. Or, like, you'll kill somebody and just go, like, slightly to the left of where they died. And it's just like, nah, you don't get that card. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just don't deserve it, is what I'm hearing. That was my best attempt yet, though, while I've been on stream, was I made it to, what, Super Kinetic? And then I missed my, stomp and fell into the abyss. Some of these levels were actually a lot easier with the rocket launcher. You know, like I said, the rocket launcher does present its own unique set of challenges, but like, with race you don't even have to, like, actually do the race with the rocket launcher. You can just skip the whole race. Because if you get to the very end, there's a little roof right next to where you get the last cards. And you can just jump on that roof and rocket jump it off of it. And you make it close enough to grapple. Ow. There. You two will miss, because I'm just good like that. I can't do the pop sound of that. Three, two, one. I'm hoping we'll at least make it a decent way. I'd like if we could at least make it up to the 40s or 50s during this. That'd be really nice. Because that's kind of the farthest I've made it so far. So if I could make it at least there, I think it would fill me back with some determination. Because I'm getting really discouraged here. You don't know how demoralizing it is to fuck this shit up over and over until you've tried it. This shit'll drive you to drinking, dude. Now, I need to cut my headphone volume down more. This music is just so fucking loud, dude. I say, and then forget to cut my headphone volume down. Hold on. Okay, maybe that's not too loud. Yeah, that's more manageable. You know, most of these early levels I can do without a second thought, except for Super Kinetic. I keep fucking up Super Kinetic for some reason. I think it's just that opening bit. Because once I get past that opening bit, it's not that bad. Or just miss the balloon entirely. Yep, that's right. Place a miracle. Yep, that just makes my game so much better. God couldn't bless me with talent, so he blessed me with saving grace. He blessed me with miracles. Alright. This is also very strenuous on the fingers, dare I say. My fingers are very tired after an attempt at this. There's a whole lot of pressing buttons and switching between shit. And moving very rapidly, especially in the later levels. Which is quite... It does a lot on the fingers. It's very... it's giving arthritis. Early onset arthritis. It's what it's giving. Oos, oos, oos. I swear this is the kind of game though where you fucking carpet tunnel. Hide behind this one. Go far to the right and he won't see me. Boop. Pop goes the demon. Hey buddy, how you doing? I find it kind of funny that the LMG is the one they decided to stick the grenade launcher to. That is just a little bit silly to me. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, but I've just never seen an LMG with a grenade launcher attached. This is clearly a 1911. The more I was looking at the picture, that one's an Uzi. I think the LMG is an M60. Just by looking at it. I mean, I could be terribly wrong. I don't know my LMGs like that. But it looks like an M60, just off the top of my head. That one down. Yeah. This one makes me nervous because you barely have enough time to get that card and dash out. I mean, you do have enough time, but it's fucking close. There's a couple levels in here like that, like Driller, I think, which is in the 30s? 40s? It's somewhere around there. I think it's in the 30s, because it's after the first green boss fight. But Driller... Driller has one section where that thing all but goes off before you manage to actually get out of there. Oh, yeah, here's Driller, actually. It's this part right here. I thought it was later than this. I could have swore it was later than this. Memory bad. That's all I got to say, dog. Memory bad. Excuse me. Honestly, the 3 levels in the Forgotten City Even Green's boss fight is so much easier than some of these levels. Like, Green's boss fight is easier than Super Kinetic. I'm sorry, it just is. I don't know how to tell you this, but it just is. Trying to hit these fucking things with the submachine gun. This submachine gun has a really fucking weird spread. Like, it just goes fucking everywhere, dude. It fires like a shotgun, but with, like, furious speed. It fires like a pissed-off shotgun. Like, fast as hell, but inaccurate as fuck, unless you're, like, right up on them. This level also is tricky. This level was tricky with the rocket launcher, just because, like, as you're coming down, the stomp demons will fire on you, and they fire a 3-round burst, so it's kind of hard to dodge sometimes, especially when you're coming down right on top of them. But it's not that bad. It's not that bad doing it normally. That was one of the ones that was actually harder doing with the rocket launcher. There. Alright, let's do this carefully to make sure I don't fuck it up again. All here. Hey, buddy. Bye, buddy. Alright, the rest of this level isn't hard. The only hard part about Super Kinetic is that early part. Just trying to line up those dashes and stomps right. I don't know why, I just get it wrong so often. Alright, as long as we make sure we dodge this guy's burst, we'll be okay. And then we don't need to go down there, we can just go right over. Alright, new best for today. Now there were some levels that were fucking impossible with the rocket launcher. Those were around the Hanging Gardens territory. The one where Violet first set up the tripwires. Those were around there. And those levels, I hope I never have to do again, because they pissed me off so bad. Especially during the Hell Rush. Those were the levels that would just completely ruin a run. Those levels would just fuck up a good run. Like Pop. Pop was the one that did so many runs in for me. Alright, green boss fight. Clock is ticking, right? I've done this shit so many times, I think I could do it without looking, honestly. And I haven't been hit yet, which is nice. And there's a shit ton of health on this level, so if I do get hit, I'm not too worried about it. There's health in a whole bunch of these chests and shit, and Green drops health every time he moves to a new phase. So, like, I'm not too concerned about getting hit on this level. As long as I don't get hit enough times to kill me, I'll be fine. Take this, you fiend. I always jump a little too early on those balloons. Like, I feel my asshole pucker a little bit when I jump for those balloons, because they'll, like, not have spawned in yet, and I'm like, oh. Alright, we're gonna ignore him for a second, because there's a health pickup right above the clock. Next one should be Fireball, I think. Yep. Like I said, done this so many times, I swear I think I could do it without looking. I basically just memorized this shit front to back. Hey buddy. Bye buddy. Oh, I hate those fucking things too. Yeah, the next health is on apartment, so I'm probably gonna have to use a discard here somewhere unless I get really, really lucky and don't get nailed. And scratch that. Alright, one discard left. So this is probably gonna be another dead run. But this is the farthest I've made it since we've been on, so that's good. That's always a risky jump to take. This one pisses me off too. Not for any particular reason. It just does. Kablow. Quick clap, blast. Isn't that what Eminem said in that one song? We're gonna be getting into the meat and potatoes soon. We're gonna be getting into the ass fucking before long. Fuck. Damn it. Alright, yep. I guess we're not getting to the ass fucking yet. Maybe this time. Maybe this time. How deep are we? 42 minutes. 42 minutes and I almost made it to level 40. That's not too bad. I've lost track of how many attempts we're on already. I kind of stopped counting after a while because then I get irritated. Boop. That's actually the shortcut for this one. You have to hit this guy on your way up, so... Apparently there was a new look at Resident Evil 9 that came out recently, but I ignored it, because apparently it shows a Leon boss fight, and to be honest, I don't want to see that. I want to find out for myself. I'm so excited for that game, dude. I'm really scared that it's going to turn out to be a piece of shit, because, like, it's the first game that I've pre-ordered in years. I mean, I think I've pre-ordered a couple small things. You know, stuff that I was, like, kinda excited for, that I knew would be, like, good. But this one, I'm taking a big gamble on this one. Like, I don't know for sure. This game has the potential to either be a masterpiece or a complete fucking disaster. Mostly because of the switch in tone. Like, going from Grace's, like, true survival horror experience to Leon, where you basically are the monster, is like, a very tricky balancing act, and if Capcom doesn't pull it off, it's just gonna fucking suck. Like, the gameplay looks great. The gameplay looks like some of the most refined in the series. But the tone and the script is what I'm worried about. You know, the writing in Resident Evil games has always been 50-50. They really cooked with, like, 2 and 3, and 4. 5 is pretty alright. 6 is, we don't talk about 6. 7 is good until like the last 2 hours. And then 8 is really good. Which is surprising, considering how much of the series it retcons. It basically just rewrites the whole series with the whole thing about Mother Miranda. I played this on the channel too, and the game's been out for like almost 5 years now, so if you don't know, you're just out of the loop. The whole thing about Mother Miranda working with Spencer, and kind of being the whole reason the virus was even developed in the first place. I know a lot of people were like funny on that twist. I actually really like it. You know, I don't mind retcons if they're cool. And, you know, I think that was a nice way to tie in this shit that was a lot different than the other Resident Evil games. You know, because the Resident Evil games has always been, like, zombies and shit. Not always, but, like, they were parasites and shit like that. Or mutations. The whole thing with the lichens and the vampires and shit was just kinda, it was new territory for the Resident Evil games, and it was pretty out there. So, tying that in to, like, Spencer and all that, and explaining how all these people came to be, even fucking Magneto, was very nice, and I think it worked. Also, the reveal that Ethan actually died in Biohazard was really nice. I thought that was really awesome. Yeah, Capcom said that Leon has some big secret when it comes to Elpis, which is the new virus in Requiem. And I think very obviously it's going to be that Leon is infected. I don't see any way that it's... Can I make that? I can't. I don't see any way that it's not that Leon's infected. Because, like, that's gotta be it. What else would it be? That he created it? Leon isn't smart enough for that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my goat. But he's not smart enough to create a fucking virus. What else could it be? Like, honestly, what secret can you have when it comes to a virus bioweapon? It's like, you created it, or you haven't. Those are like the two secrets you can have. And I think we're gonna find out that creepy beast that was featured in the Gamescom, I think it was, demo for Requiem is going to be Alyssa, Grace's mother, and the protagonist of Resident Evil Outbreak. I think that's what we're going to find out. And, obviously I think this will be Leon's final game. Whether that means him dying or retiring, I think this is the last time he shows up in the mainline Resident Evil game. You know, they gotta retire them all eventually. It's about time for Chris to retire. If anything, they should have retired Chris first. I'm not saying they will retire Leon, that's just my prediction. But if anything, they should have retired Chris first. Because, like, he was one of the protagonists of the first game. You know, and he's been in more games than Leon, if I'm not mistaken. Because he was in Revelations 2, I think. He's in the first one. He was in, 5... He was in 7 and 8. Yeah. And Leon was in 2, 4, and 6. And I think, like, a couple shitty spin-offs, like the Rail Shooter one. I really don't count, like, most of the spin-offs. Because I don't know if they're canon or not, and also they're kind of shit. So I just kind of invented my own canon. Also because Resident Evil doesn't, like, have an official canon. Like, Capcom has never come out and been like, this is what's canon. You know, like, with some games we know they're canon. Like 5. 5, there's only, like, one playthrough. Like, there's one way of doing it. And that's the only story. But, like for 2, we don't know if Leon's run or Claire's run is the canon version. You know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that Jill's run in the first game is the canon one. You know what? Okay, I kinda lied. The canon is pretty clear, except for Resident Evil 2. We still don't really know which run is the canon run in 2. But besides that, the canon's pretty alright. Anyway, that's my Resident Evil rambling. I don't know, I've just been thinking about the game a lot lately as we get closer and closer to release, because yesterday was the 27th, I think. Yeah, yesterday was the 27th, which makes it exactly 1 month until the game comes out. And with today being the 29th, that means 29 days. So 1 day less than a month. And it cannot come fucking fast enough. I've been waiting since June. I literally pre-ordered the game the day pre-orders went live. I don't know if I mentioned that on the channel, but the day pre-orders went live, I pre-ordered it. You know, because, like, Resident Evil is probably my second favorite video game series. My first is obviously God of War. But if off the top of my head, if I had to pick a second, it'd probably be Resident Evil. I adore the Resi series. It's perfect. It's perfect. You know, not in the traditional sense, but, I mean, there are games that are terrifying, there are games with great stories, there are games with great characters, there are games that are just straight-up action games that are really fucking great. You know, and there are some that are just silly fun, like 5. 5 is kind of stupid, but it's really silly fun, so I quite like it. You know, all of the games have their strengths, except for 6. Like I said, we don't talk about 6. You know, like, the first one has this very old-school classic charm to it. Fucking did it again. The second one, terrifying. And it has 2 great characters, as is Leon and Claire. The third one has Nemesis. That's enough right there. Nemesis is terrifying as is enough. You know, and the remake of 3 has problems. You know, I'm not gonna deny that. But honestly, when you've got a character as imposing and as terrifying as Nemesis chasing you 24/7, especially on the higher difficulties, that's fucking terrifying. And then, you know, like, 4, you know, has Leon again, and the tone change into action, you know, both. A lot of people don't understand the impact Resident Evil 4 had on the series. Not even just the series, like, games as a whole. Like, Resident Evil 4 really shook up the things, because, like, at the time, Resident Evil 4 was, like, it was the first one to do what it did. You know what I mean? Resident Evil was always the fixed camera angle survival horror games, and Resident Evil was, like, the first game in any of these big franchises to swap to the over-the-shoulder third-person shooter thing. I mean, and it did it because people were getting tired of the Resident Evil formula, you know? After 4 games, because there was the original Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and then the Resident Evil remake of the first game. After 4 games, people were just kind of getting tired of the same old shit, which I don't understand. The games were fucking great, but whatever. You know, but, like, so they switched it up with 4, and they fucking killed it. And it was like the first time that had happened. Well, shit. The more I talk, the more I just want to go play fucking Resident Evil. I'm answering texts, mostly because I need to rest my fingers for a minute. And then 5 is just silly, goofy fun. And then, of course, the game that shall not be named is just fucking ass. 7 is once again terrifying, and then 8 has some really strong writing. And it has Ethan. Ooh. Ooh. Wee-oo. Ooh. Wee-oo. What's that one song that goes like that? I honestly don't remember what song that is. I genuinely don't remember. What fucking song is that? I know the song. I can hear it in my head. I just can't remember what it is. Hold on a second. I'm gonna light a cigarette. Because fuck you. I really need to stop smoking. Maybe one day when I get rich and famous, I'll quit so that I can live long enough to enjoy being rich and famous. I don't think I could be famous, dog. You know, like, I'm a very anxious person. Like, I'm very aware of myself and my image at all times. And I don't like a lot of eyes on me, you know? I kind of like to fade into the background, like a mysterious person. Like PETA in the Hunger Games when he dressed up as a rock. That's kind of how I am in my life, you know? Like, I don't like to be in crowds. I don't like to be around a whole bunch of people. I don't like to be noticed. Well, like, I like to be noticed by people that I like. But, like, I don't like to be pointed out, you know? I used to hate when I'd be in class, and I'd get, like, nasty fucker. And I'd get, like, singled out for something like, hey, will you come solve this problem on the board? No, I'll take the 0, actually. I don't want to go up there and be in front of the whole class. I hated giving speeches in school. Public speaking was, like, my worst fear. Because, you know, I could talk to a group of friends all day with no problem. But, like, speaking in front of a crowd? Fuck that. Fuck that. You know, so, like... I forgot where I was even going with this. I'm just gonna be 100% honest. What the fuck was I talking about? Wow, I genuinely just completely forgot. That's great. Anyway. I need to start having someone in chat at all times to just remind me of what the fuck I was talking about. But Jack, what are some of your other favorite video game series? I am so glad you asked. Let's talk about it. So obviously God of War, and obviously Resident Evil. I don't know, I'd have to think about it. I really love the Grand Theft Auto series. Even though the only one I've played is 5, I've, you know, because, like, I was too young to play the other Grand Theft Autos, so I never got to play them, but I used to watch other people play them, and I fucking loved them. You know, because I can't play them myself, but I can watch other people play them all day long. Which 5 is still the best one. But, you know, Grand Theft Auto has always been a great series. I love the Arkham series. Arkham does not have bad games. It even has Origins, which is severely underrated. Arkham Origins is a great game that people just never recognize. What are some other series that I like? I would say the Jedi series, but there's only 2 installments, and I don't know if we're gonna get a 3rd. So, I'm gonna leave that one out for now. I like Insomniac's Spider-Man trilogy really good. I love the Ratchet and Clank series. That's a really good one. Insomniac has 2 game series they absolutely cooked with. Wow, it's really hard to think of shit off the top of your head, isn't it? Oh, Ultimate Alliance. I really like the Ultimate Alliance series. The Marvel games where you build your team and then go carry out missions. I really like that series. I haven't played the 3rd one because, my Switch had an accident. But I really want to, because, like, the Ultimate Alliance games are the first games some of the first games I can remember playing as a kid. I've talked about it before, but my very first video game was LEGO Star Wars: The Complete Saga. So that game will forever have a special place in my heart. But, like, One of the other games I can remember playing really early is Ultimate Alliance 2. And I really fucking loved it, dude. I've always been a big superhero guy, so like those games just spoke to me. Speaking of Lego, I always really loved the Lego games. Like 90% of them. It doesn't matter if they're from any particular series, like the Lego Batman games or the Lego Star Wars games. I just really fucking love Lego games. Mostly because I really love Legos. That's right, you heard it here. Grown man who loves Legos. Is anybody surprised? I think that's enough. I'm not really going to try and think of any more off the top of my head. You know, maybe if I happen to think of another one, I'll say it. But oh, Borderlands. I fucking adore Borderlands. I love the Borderlands series. I want to get 4, but I haven't had the money lately because of bills. And also I haven't been able to go to work because of this fucking storm. We genuinely, the roads have been completely snowed over. We haven't been able to leave our house. You know, because we don't live in, like, the city or anything. We live out in the country. So, like, nobody comes up here to clear the roads like they do in the city or town or places like that. So we've literally just, we're trapped. We've just been trapped here for 4 days. So, I'm kind of suffering for money. And then, I think I mentioned it earlier, but the news said we might have some more inclement weather this weekend. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding, dude. Can I please catch a break? Like, you know, everybody hates going to work, but like, money's nice. Can I have some money, please? Can I at least get some hazard pay for sitting at my home or something? You know, despite living out in the country, our road is a very busy road. But not this week. Yesterday was the first time since the storm that I've seen somebody on our road. And the road was solid ice. This was a big-ass truck, which very obviously had four-wheel drive. But that's still fucking dangerous with that ice. The ice was thicker yesterday than it was the day before, the day that I fell. Like, you couldn't walk in it. Like, you'd just take one step in it and just fall and bust your ass. Like, it was really fucking slippery yesterday. So seeing that truck go by on the ice that's that slippery. And the thing is, it's only our road. The next road over is clear. Like, the road at the end of our road is completely clear. You know, they'll clear that, but they won't clear ours. Which is kind of stupid and annoying, because, you know, I'd like to be able to, you know, go to fucking work. But whatever, who cares? Not me. Who knows? Not me. Okay, if you'll pardon me for a minute, I need to use the restroom. I'll be back in a few minutes. So I've been listening to a lot of Noah Kahan, because he's like, I genuinely believe he's one of the best songwriters of the current day and age. Definitely one of the best folk singers currently working. But also because the extended version of The View Between Villages is one of the best songs I've ever heard. Because what do you mean you're taking a left at the graveyard? You're driving past ghosts. Their arms are extended and your eyes start to close. What do you mean by that, Noah? What do you mean by that? I've also been listening to a lot of Olivia Rodrigo, because, you know, I never grew up. No, I'm kidding. She's very good too. You know, and I'm in my 20s, you know? Like, I'm not that far out of high school. Like, I graduated just a few years ago. So, like, high school is still a pretty fresh memory for me. I love how as soon as I sit down, my fucking controller battery dies. Hold on. You know, so, like, high school wasn't that long ago. It'd be different if I was, like, 30. At least then, you know, if I do listen to her at 30, it'll be to enjoy the music, you know. At least I'm hoping. I'm hoping I'm still not stuck in high school at 30. But, you know, like, firstly, she's just good. Most of the time. Some of her songs are a little juvenile for me. But, for them, Guts is a really good album. Sour was, like, good, but there was a couple songs on there that just didn't stick for me. Now, Guts is a different story. I really love Guts. Who else have I been listening to a lot lately? Oh, the ever-present Jesse Wells has been staying in my most listened lately, because, you know, it's fucking Jesse Wells. If you've been around long enough, you should know by now that he's, like, my favorite. I adore Wells. I think he's the best songwriter currently working. I don't think he's made a bad album, and honestly, I don't think he's capable of making a bad album, but he's capable of pumping them out like it's nobody's fucking business, dude. He put out, like, 4 or 5 albums last year. I feel like I'm the only one who understands how truly crazy that is. Like, there are people who have only put out 4 or 5 albums in 20 years, and Jesse put out 5 in 1 year. I've also been listening to his original band. Like, I've been listening to Wells, that was the name of the rock band he had. They're also very fucking good. They only had 1 album. It's called, Red Trees and White Trashes. But it's a really fucking good album. There's one song in particular on there that I really love. It's called Rock and Roll. Fucking great song. And then his other band that he was in, like, several bands before he broke out as a solo artist. He was in Dead Indian. That's where the original version of his song, This Is Not My Song, is from. It's technically a cover of Dead Indian's version of the song, which was his band. And, let's see. And then, I think he had Cosmic American, but their music isn't on Spotify. I think it's just on, like, YouTube and shit. I think it was Cosmic American. Yeah, it's Cosmic American. What else? I'm just looking for shit to talk about, you know? It's been a really boring couple of days just being trapped in the house. So, I thought maybe if I just yap a while, it'll alleviate some of the boredom. I don't know. I was going to talk about something else, but now I don't remember. I had something else, like, specific that I was going to talk about, and now I can't remember what the fuck it actually was. I really just need someone in chat, like, at all times, to fucking just remind me what the hell I was going to talk about. Because I can just never remember. Missed. There's no covering this. Yeah, I was too far down. There was no coming back from that. I wouldn't have been able to turn around in time to recover that one. Okay, let's see what we can do this time. I might stream again a little later on, and do this again but with the level shuffled. Just for shits and gigs. It is a much more fun way to play than this, because this gets really repetitive and irritating after a while. So doing them shuffled is more fun, but it's also harder, because at least here I know where the health pickups are. Like, I know what levels they're in. In the shuffled ones, there's no telling what you're gonna get next. Like, you could go from the very first level to the final boss, which actually happened to me. The first level I got was the final boss. Like, the final fight with Green, Absolution. And then, the next level I got after that was the first level. So that was some whiplash. You know, it's like the ultimate test of your skill, and then, oh hey, you're so new to the game, let's teach you how to play right next to each other. Honestly, the very first and very last boss fights are some of the easiest levels in this game. Like, Absolution is an easy-ass level. Probably just because I've done it so many times, but like... The only green boss fight that really consistently gives me trouble is the second one, the one at the third temple. That's the only one that, like, consistently gives me trouble anymore. Like, the Clock Tower and Absolution, I don't really have much trouble with them anymore, but the third temple is the one that gets my ass. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys right now, this is like all I've been playing for several days now, because I've desperately been trying to finish this fucking Hell Rush so that I can get that platinum and move on with my life. I've got other shit I want to play, but I just want to get this shit done, so I'm not working on it for like 8 years. I've had a blast with this game, most of this game, but this trophy right here for doing White's Hell Rush is just exhausting. It's exhausting. You know, I thought Violet's Hell Rush was bad, but this is just... When I said this was a test of attrition, I'm not kidding. And part of it probably is a skill issue, I'm well aware of that. But at the same time, this shit is hard. Like, if you think this is a skill issue, I want you to go out and try it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if you haven't played this game, go play this game. Finish it. Get the good ending, so that you unlock White's Hell Rush. And then try it. And see how you do. I've always hated those kinds of people. Like the ones that'll go in the comments of somebody doing like a challenge or something, or doing a hard part of the game, being like, bro, what are you doing? This shit is so easy. You're just a loser. And I'm like, what do you get from that? Do you just get some sense of self-satisfaction? Do you get no bitches? What is it? You know, you gotta be like a really lonely person. Just sit around all day and go online and just insult other people. Like, do you not have better things to do with your life than just sit online and insult people? Like, are you not employed? Do you not have, like, a wife or a girlfriend or something? Or, like, some friends? Do you not have a hobby? Like, Jesus, put together Legos for all I fucking care. But, like, genuinely, what the fuck are these... I just never understood these people. They make no sense to me. Over there, over there, over there, over there. Man, I'm just talking about a whole bunch of shit today. Shit, I missed. I think that's the first time I've actually missed that dash. and as many attempts as we have to, I don't know how many we've actually done today, but we have to be getting close to 40. I'll probably be close to 100 attempts when I finally do get this. Because I'm not going to give up. I'm to the point that I'm tired of being a quitter. I'm tired of being a quitter. I will pull this shit off if it kills me. So, like, I'll get it eventually. But it'll more than likely be upwards of 100 attempts. I'm just going to be honest. It'll be upwards of 100 attempts and sheer fucking luck, more than likely. Jesus Christ, huh? I'm still not used to the jumping. That's the one part of this game that I'm not used to. I've got the aiming, I've got the discards, you know, all that I've cleared out pretty good, and I can do pretty consistently, most of the time. But the fucking jumping, with how floaty it is, fucks me up. Every fucking time. Hooray! New level set. Alright. There's one level in Yellow's level set with the Guardians that scares the shit out of me. You know, because you can't use your discard abilities in Yellow's level set. So, like, you just have to run away from them, and it's very close, because there's, like, set places for you to hide, but it's really just a fucking game of, can you make it in time? It's like a race. It's just, can I make it before I get blasted into oblivion? The answer is, 40% of the time. 40% of the time, I can make it. 60% of the time, it works. Every time. Alright, this is the level with the health. I haven't had to use a discard yet, have I? Fuck off. I'm trying to look and see how many discards I have left. I can't remember if I used one or not. I swear to God, if I would have took damage immediately after I got the health, I would have been pissed. The rocket launchers, having only the rocket launcher, also made it really easy to traverse back through the level. No, I haven't used a discard, actually. Like, if I happen to miss a demon or something, it made it really easy to, like, go back through the levels and find it. Because I'd have, like, 1,000 rocket launcher ammo, and I could just rocket jump my way all the way back through the level. Hell, there were some levels I could damn near just skip entirely. Like Godspeed, I could pretty much skip that whole level. Which is not like it's a very long or complicated level to begin with. But like, once you make it out the first red door, you can literally just rocket jump over the wall, and then you're right there at the end. And there's no demons, so like you can just walk into it. It can be done in less than 10 seconds. I do wish that they'd let you have a custom level order. Like, I wish there was an option to, like, choose your level order. I know that sounds, like, really silly, and I know that would never be a thing in any game ever. But, like, I wish it was there because I do this game in reverse. Like, I do the hardest levels first. I'd start at the very end of the game and come backwards. Because it gets progressively easier instead of progressively harder, minus a few outliers like fucking race. But alas, I don't think any video game has done that, at least not in a way like I thought about it being done. I'm not saying like I'm an original or like some master game designer or anything. I'm saying like I have terrible ideas and then I think about how they'd work. I wish you guys would have seen me trying to ace this game, because that was a sight to behold. Especially like the later levels. The levels near the very end. Woo, doggy! There's one level at the very end of the game. It's not at the... I think it's actually at the third temple. I think it's one of the third temple levels. But the fucking ace medal for that requires you to hit this really just fucking impossible rocket jump that you have like a 1 in a million fucking chance of hitting. And it requires you to hit it perfectly in order to make the ace time. Which is really stupid and fucking unfair. And it was my least favorite thing I've had to do in this game. I'd rather replay Ride to Hell Retribution than do that shit again. Ride to Hell Retribution is the worst game ever made, by the way, in my opinion at least. Because it's a game that desperately tries to be good and thinks it's good, but it's really, really terrible. You know, there are really, really terrible video games, but like, some of them know they're terrible, and other ones are just trying to not... They're not trying to be like the best thing ever, but Ride to Hell plays itself like completely straight. Like, there's sex scenes in that game that you actually, like, play through, but they're fully clothed. And, like, the game is well aware they're fully clothed. It's not like a glitch or anything. It's not a bug. That's just how they are. But the game plays it completely straight. Like, it doesn't even acknowledge that these people aren't having sex. They're just dry humping each other. It plays it like an actual sex scene. And it is the most ridiculous thing to watch. And that's just one of the many reasons Ride to Hell is the worst game ever made. Outside of, you know, the shitty controls, the terrible graphics, and the amount of game-breaking bugs, and the terrible writing, and the voice acting that's so much worse than I ever imagined voice acting to be, and that game's fucking awful. But, you know, the fact that it takes itself completely seriously makes it that much worse. You know, if it at least acknowledged that it wasn't the best thing ever, or was at least a little silly, it'd be alright, because, you know, then it'd actually be enjoyable to play. Like, if it was a little silly, you could play it and be like, alright, that's a little silly, but, like, you know, I got a little chuckle out of it, you know, because there's some bad games you play and get a chuckle out of. Ride to Hell is not one of them. Ride to Hell genuinely thinks it's like the greatest thing ever. And it plays itself completely 100% straight. I fell asleep last night watching 22 Jump Street, because it's on Prime Video, and I love the Jump Street movies. So I fell asleep last night watching 22 Jump Street. And Prime Video has, like, built-in autoplay. I don't know if you can turn it off. I don't particularly want to turn it off, because if things go silent in the middle of the night, I will wake up. Like, I can't sleep in silence. I've never been able to. I don't know why. I guess because I'm just so used to noise, you know? Living with a whole bunch of fucking people, you get used to constant noise. But, like... right about there, I think? You know, so the point is, I fell asleep watching Jump Street, and I woke up watching fucking Beast Games, the Mr. Beast game show. And I'm wondering what string of programs that the Prime autoplay went through while I was asleep that it ended up on Beast Game at the time I woke up. Like, what's the 22 Jump Street to Mr. Beast pipeline? Shit. Oh, can't take the shortcut. I'm thinking about that all night, or all day. I've just been trying to figure out how the fuck the like, autoplay ended up on Beast Game. I cannot get over it. I've been thinking about it all day. Like, what was the string of events that led to Beast Game? Also, that show's fucking crazy, because what do you mean you have 1,000 contestants and you eliminate 500 of them immediately? Why even bring that fucking many people in? Like, do you know how demoralizing that must be to be selected for a game show and get eliminated in the first, like, 20 minutes? Like, you don't even get to, like, appear in the episode. There's, like, a singular shot of your face among 70,000 other faces. And then you're just gone, with nothing to show for it, while other people win 20 grand, or 100 grand, or, God forbid, $5 million. And you're just like, well, I showed up. It's like the equivalent of a participation award. Like, oh, you showed up, you know, let's ignore the fact that it probably cost you, you know, half of your working wages to come out here, but you showed up, and that's what counts, buddy. I'm a massive Mr. Beast hater, if you couldn't tell. And honestly, I just think that game show's fucking stupid. And he keeps talking about how, like, in the show, it was only the first episode, but I think he mentioned how it cost the most money of any game show in history, and how he was giving away the most money of any game show in history at least 35 times in the first episode. And I'm like, shut the fuck up! Shut up! Shut up! He's so fucking annoying, and he's so fucking full of himself. I can't stand him. I cannot stand Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast, if you can hear this, I don't fucking like you, and I don't understand people who do. Like a little fucking gnat. Somebody step on that gnat for me. I mean, there are other people, like internet celebrities, that I can't stand, but he's the one lately, like the past year or so, that's just been driving me out of my fucking mind. Because I just do not understand the appeal. I just don't understand what's appealing about him. Is it the fact that he spends a lot of money? Because that's like the only thing I can grasp at that might be why people gravitate to him, is that he's rich and he spends a lot of money. Like that's anything to admire or enjoyable to watch. Just spending so much money on stupid shit. Like, why the fuck did he build a whole city for this game show? Is that shit really necessary? And he kept talking about how much it cost and how he built this whole city from scratch and yada yada yada. Who gives a fuck? It's fucking pointless, because after the show's over, it's just gonna sit there untouched in places where you could have built people houses. You know, you could have used your money to actually do something good. You could have built houses for the homeless. Or, I don't know, donated it. You could have donated the amount of money you wasted on this stupid shit to a cause that deserves funding. But no, instead you just fucking have built an entire fucking city for however many millions of dollars you spent that's only going to get used for this TV show in a place where anything else could have been built. Holy shit, we actually made it to Hanging Gardens like I said I wanted to. My rage against Mr. Beast has fueled me to make it this far. I played Rivals for a little bit earlier. I played a couple Star-Lord games. I need to go ahead and finish up my Doctor Strange lore, but I kind of just don't want to right now. I kind of just really don't want to do that right now. Like, sorry, Doctor, but I just kind of don't want to fuck with you right now. There's other people I can be playing. You know, when you put so much... I don't understand how some people have like 800 hours into a character. Because if I play so much of a character, like, I just don't want to fucking play them anymore. Like, you know, it was like that with even Adam. You know, Adam's my main. He's my favorite. But after a while, like, after I got him to Lord, I didn't want to play him anymore. Not just because, like, I had accomplished everything, but because I had played him so much. And, you know, obviously, the solution to that is just take a break. And so I did, and I came back and I loved playing it again. But, like, dog, after a while, you just get sick of playing the same fucking character. Ah, shit, I broke the wrong one. Ah, damn it. Anyways, I know this was a really short one, but I'm gonna end it here, I think. I'm gonna get ready for my appointment in an hour. Mostly because I'm getting frustrated with this level rush again. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I kinda did, you know. But for now, that's gonna be all. So from me to you, thank you for joining, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.